Back with Jason Simpson, Skyhawk Talk from Snappy Tomato Pizza. Coach, let's go over Rhino's notes. This is some good stuff here. You're going to take on Southeast Missouri, and a game that's coming up Saturday. This marks the 2013 OVC opener for UT Martin. Skyhawks are 9-12 all-time in OVC openers, but have won 6 of your last 8, including 5-2 under your direction. So it's kind of like you erased the chalkboard, and even though those 3 games meant so much, now we're starting the conference season.
Yeah, you are. And we had a team meeting last night, and that's one of the things that I addressed with the team is that, and the reality is this. It's not coach speak, but this is, let's be realistic about this. You were picked 5th to 6th in the league preseason, okay? The teams we beat, Chattanooga, there's 2-1. But, people are questioning their wins over Austin Peay and Georgia State. How good are those 2 teams, okay? Boise State beat us pretty well. They got beat the other night. Well, you beat Central Arkansas. Good win, right? Ranked team. It's still ranked high, right? But they win 17-13 against the 0-4 team, Missouri State. Okay, so how good is UT Martin? Mm-hmm. And so, we still got to have a chip on our shoulder. We still got to have a point to prove. And, Southeast Missouri, I went through the scores the last, we're 6-1 against them. But look at the scores against them. There's only one time that we really, beat them by 30 points. Besides that, we won by 10 last year on the road. They had to get an interception late to pull the game out. We won by 8 the year before that. We lost by 7 the year before that. And I think we won by 10 or so, or 14, whatever like that. So the margin of victory, even though we're 6-1 against them, it's always been a fourth quarter game.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're 3-1 against them in Cape Girardeau, so you played well. But as you said, they've been close games.
Yeah, and that's the way Tony's defenses are designed. I mean, they may bend, but they don't break. They don't give you any big plays, and so they're good enough on offense to keep it just like they did this week against SIU. I mean, they're it's 19-19 in the third quarter. They got a chance and just a couple plays here and there. So. Made sure that our players understood. Okay, guess what? You're a ranked team, just like Central Arkansas was coming in here. Okay, they've got you at home. Okay, they're 0-3, but guess what? They're saying the same thing I would be saying. Guess the new season starts. You got a chance to be 1-0. Mm-hmm. So whoever wins this game is 1-0 in the league,
right?
And feels a lot better about themselves. So it's a big game. It is a big game, and homecoming takes care of itself. The Tennessee Tech on that Thursday night, that takes care of itself based on what happened last year. Mm-hmm. This is a huge game for us.
And Rhino even came up with, and I didn't realize this, after a bye week, your teams are 5-1.
I saw that today. That was a great one, right?
That's pretty good.
You know what? And Auburn was the loss.
That's right. Yeah.
And so we'll count it, but we won't count it because we understand what we're playing against. But I'd like to think that hopefully our schedule, the way we practice in that open week, it benefits for that. How hard do you work the guys? How much time do you give them off? How mentally do you have them ready to go? You never know.
Because that's the key. Broadcasters will say after an open week, you either come out well rested and ready to attack, or you're rusty.
Yeah, we played some teams that had an open week, and it scared me to death, and we beat them. Mm-hmm. And so you don't know, you don't know, and it's just the psyche of your players, how healthy you are, and then you got to go and play.
I thought this was neat too. Now let's go back to the. I'm disappointed of where we have been in the polls because we've beaten 2 top 25 teams. What does that mean to you? Being now we're 23rd. After
right. Well, first and foremost, you wanted to get in there. For our kids, hard work for our university, and the amount of time and effort and people that care about our program, it was important for me to at least be in the top 25. Okay, so we're there, and that's at least every time you see UT Martin on there, you think it's one of the top 25 teams in the country, at least up to this point. Mm-hmm. Okay, now, would you like to be higher and all that? Yeah, sure, but the rest of the season will take care of itself, and you'll have a chance to climb. You keep winning, okay? You're going to have a chance to climb. You really don't have a high-ranked team until you get to EIU,
right?
Okay, who probably by then will probably be in the top 5, I would bet you. So we can't, you can't worry about that. Our job is to get in that top 20, and because at the end of the year, 20 teams are going to go to the national playoffs.
That's right. And that certainly will help you if you are ranked. Sports Network has you at 23 now. Rhino points out that only 3 teams, including UT Martin, have played more than 1 game against an FCS opponent so far in the season. And you didn't trail against either one of those teams in those 2 games.
Right. Well, never thought about it like that, but we've got off to some decent starts, and hope that trend continues.
Talking with Jason Simpson. Skyhawk Talk continues here. And then it's just back to a regular week, I guess, as you prepare for the game Saturday against Southeast Missouri. Right?
Exactly. It was good. Like I said, it was great to have weekend off, and coaches were back at work yesterday. And like I said, went out recruiting on Friday, and tonight we got practice here in a little while. And tonight we're going helmets and kind of continue to put the game plan in. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Something different we haven't done, though, this week. We won't travel until Saturday. Mm-hmm. And that's something I had never done before. But, it's a night game. And it's very difficult for us to travel there, and eating is an issue.
Let's go through that, because we have a moment since we're not talking about last Saturday's game. We didn't have one. What's game day like? And there's a science to how many calories you eat and how much carbs and protein and how many hours before the game. But what's a typical – when does your team get together before a game? When do they eat? And then what happens throughout all of that?
Well, that's one of the reasons I would rather have day games than night games, because there's not that much time to make sure that it's organized out and planned out. But like for instance, a home game at noon, you're going to always eat 4 hours before game. Mm-hmm. So that one's relatively easy, right? You have your pregame meal let's say it's at 1 o'clock. You eat at 9. Mm-hmm. Maybe have a walkthrough after that. We have a devotion during our pregame as well. And
are you eating breakfast, or are you at 9?
Well, it's one. When it's that early, it would just be one pregame meal would be breakfast, and maybe you put grilled chicken with that breakfast. With that breakfast menu. When it's a night game, now you've got a light breakfast and then a pregame. And so that makes it a little bit more different.
Do you try to put a curfew on the guys the night before?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're on the road. It's easy. When we're at home,
sure.
We give a curfew. Like the schedule for this week will be this. We'll have academic meetings on Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Then we'll have meetings after that. We'll get together that Friday night and, watch sometimes we've gone to the movies in the past. We'll get together and do something in the building, some team building together. Make sure we got a 10:30 curfew. We won't leave until 2 p.m. for the 6 o'clock game to go to Cape Girardeau. So it takes 2 hours to get there. So we'll probably bring the kids in. I think the schedule is we'll come in like 9 a.m., have them a sausage biscuit, mm-hmm. have a light walk-through, throw around. Offensive guys will go through red zone script, third down scripts, just kind of have a throw around like a shoot around in basketball, mm-hmm. without extending too much energy to keep their minds fresh. No more than about 45 minutes. We'll let the kids go, and so that's around 10 o'clock. So they're down from 11 to 12. By 1:30 they're making their way back for pregame devotional and pregame meal. And then we get on a bus, make the drive, play the game, get them something to eat after the game. We always have, whether it's chicken or pizza or something waiting for them after the game, and then get back on the bus and make the drive back.
That's simple. And, Coach, I remember last year in Memphis with that long delay, it got to the point really where the players were hungry.
Yeah, that comes into effect, because you're saying you're eating 4 hours before, and sometimes the game lasts 3 hours, so there's 7 hours there. And, that game wasn't extended 2 more from there, so now you're up to like 9 hours. And that actually comes into play from the NCAA, is that, the health of your kids and, mm-hmm. Food is a part of that.
Well, and in the NFL, I mean, they have sleep doctors that are with the teams to monitor and dietitians. What about during it? Do you even monitor the amount of intake with liquids to make sure they're hydrated during a game?
Well, Bart does a great job with that, and that's above my pay grade, and mm-hmm. But our guys are well educated, and we understand what being hydrated is about.
Sure.
And we're kind of, from a calorie intake and stuff, we talk about it a little bit as a staff, but we're kind of, we want to be faster than we are fat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we've only probably got a couple guys that are a little bit heavy that need to lose some weight. Besides that, we're a pretty lean team, and that's kind of what we've recruited. And we're more so. You wish you had the budget to put more protein into guys, mm-hmm. So we could add an extra 5-6 pounds of
How about your pregame routine? Any superstitions or anything that you want to talk about?
No, I mean not really. Every once in a while you'll see me, if we have a big win, I may go back and wear the same hat from the week before, and every once in a while I'm like Colonel Kaler. I may grab one of those 2006, 2008 hats if we really need a boost for a win.
I wear my 2006 hat all the time, and it just fits well on my head.
I've seen you wear that. That's good.
All the time. And I think that the most amazing thing about you is how relaxed you are on game day.
Well, probably some officials that would tell you different.
Well,
but,
before the game. We'll talk about what happened in the OVC this past weekend and look ahead to the matchups coming up this weekend when we talk with Coach Jason Simpson in our final segment here live from Snappy Tomato Pizza on the UT Martin Skyhawk Sports Network.
I'm on a cross-country flight going to visit my family.